Omokri attacked me for 7 years, but I'm pleading on his behalf. I don't want him to become a beggar, Dr. Dipo Awodide. Twitter influencer, career coach, and ambassador Dr. Dipo Awodide just took to his official Twitter handle to plead for political analyst and ex-aide to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Omokri, as he comes under heavy criticisms due to his constant bashing of Labour Party presidential aspirant Peter Obi. He said, and I quote, "Rena has attacked me for 7 years, but being a child of God and not one led by Satan, I am pleading on his behalf and urging you to all forgive him and give him just one more chance. I don't want him to become a destitute in the UK. I hope he is appreciative of my kindness." Omokri managed to piss off 100,000 people who have now signed a petition to ban his Twitter account. He has failed to apologize after many of the people I begged on his behalf said they will let him off if he said sorry. Some of those reporting him supported him until recently. And from various posts on Twitter, the reason why some of these supporters of Peter Obi were totally pissed off seeing Omokri translating some tweets to Hausa, which they think is capable of causing tribal crisis in the country. Many of them who were his followers not only unfollowed him on all platforms, but also flagged his accounts. Wow. Of course, now there are more replies, and actually, I'm seeing popular replies. So, Twitter user Kelvin Odans, who's pretty much active when it comes to political matters in Nigeria, replies to Ogbeni Dipo and says, "They supported him when he was attacking Buhari and his people. He hasn't said half the thing he said about Buhari to Peter Obi, and they're calling for his head, threatening, campaigning to get him off Twitter." I think we suspect all the things he said to Buhari. Why? Because all it seems right now is that he's saying all this to make Buhari look bad because he's just not in Buhari's party. It's as simple as that. Because when it comes down to it, where does his loyalties lie? It is not with the youth. It is with PDP. And although the times where he was bashing the government, it may seem as though, oh wow, this man is being objective, he's being neutral, analyzing, holding the government to account. He used this under the guise, can't say that's proven, but allegedly you can say that it's safe to assume he used the narrative of being with the youth as a tactic and as a move to criticize the Buhari government. So then, even with Buhari leaving the country and coming to the UK for his trip, but I think he went to the Nigerian house. I don't know he went to the UK, but he has his own presidential Nigerian house in London, and he went to that house and he was protesting with other people. And maybe this might be around the time of NSAS. I'm not too sure, but yes, he went there and was protesting with the people in the UK right in front of his accommodation, Buhari's accommodation in London. So it's a thing where it may just be that the youth feel betrayed because you standing with your party, PDP, supporting Atiku, which is basically no different to Tinubu, it makes us question where you stand all this while, and now he's proven where he stands. The time where he criticized Buhari was so convenient. You can see, like, everything was convenient to the fact that he wasn't of Buhari's party, he's of PDP, and the constant criticism was just a build-up to make this man look so bad that when it's time for PDP to get into power, he would have done a good job of analyzing, criticizing APC, and done a good job in showing why Buhari is not, or APC is not a good party or the favorable party. So it's now a thing where I believe that the youth are very much betrayed. I don't even think it's a Peter Obi supporters thing. I think the youth are very, very betrayed because you don't have to support Peter Obi, but if you're going to choose Atiku over Peter Obi, then there is a problem. And that it's as simple as that, and that is just a fact. So First comment, nobody obviously is against Reno. He is entitled to his opinion. He must, however, learn not to deliberately assassinate other people's characters when ventilating his views. His attacks becoming nauseating and needs to be checked. What political gains does he want to attain by deliberately running Peter Obi down? There's a world of difference between writing facts and peddling falsehood. If you go on Omokri's Twitter account, it's you might as well just say it's choking, because he is just always tweeting, and it's like, Nigerians are not fools, like, because he can come out and say, oh, I just said this, and use the argument of what I said was in plain text, and it would make Nigerians look crazy to read meaning into what he's saying. But of course, he's a political analyst, he's been in the game, he knows what to write. And so we're holding you accountable with the fact that you know what to write. We know the underlying implied meaning of what you are writing. And this whole translating to Hausa for the people to see what Peter B is saying about Kwakwanto. I mean, what is your aim in doing that? What is your aim? If not to make Peter B look bad and incite some sort of, and incite even more clash. It's like you're intentionally just adding fuel to the fire and you run away from it and you're like, oh, what? It's burning? Oh, wow, really? I didn't know I added fuel to the fire. Of course you did. And then it's like, not that it's already gone to that level, but we're citing it from the early stages and we're like, no, this is not right. It is definitely not right. It's like, we're not kids. We know the meaning of what you are writing. You can come here and interpret and use technicalities to say, I'm just saying things explicitly how they are, But Nigerians are not stupid, because you must think they are to think and take your text just the way it is. What? And as much as, he's entitled to his own opinion, it's like, why don't you then focus on why you can promote your candidate rather than go for Peter Obi, or attack Peter Obi supporters indirectly as an attack against Peter Obi by virtue of his character? Because if you say this is the character of his supporters, you are basically saying it's basically the same as the character of who they're following, Peter Obi. We are not foolish. The people that are voting over 18 were not kids. So it's a thing where whether his account should be banned, now that's the whole Twitter, that's you sort that out for yourself. I think on Twitter we have ways to then hold people accountable, and I think because our constitution does not allow us to do that on a basic level, I think Twitter does empower the youth to be like, you know what, we're going to teach you a lesson. And I think that same attitude online, the way Twitter has that system, our constitution should also have a system where we can feel comfortable to hold people accountable. You think Nigerians will not be doing that all this while? With the way things are going, with how corrupt politicians are, with everything. We want to hold people accountable, but the system does not allow for us to do that. And I think Nigerians just exercise that power on Twitter. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, I do not know. That is, you go and ask Twitter people, because if you're on Twitter, whatever you get there is your own. Twitter is the street. I know people will go on Twitter and start giving, educational remarks, and you want to go there and write essays that would show your intellect. At the end of the day, as much as you want to do that, you have to realize, for lack of a better word, Twitter is also, for lack of a better word, ghetto. Twitter is the streets of social media. It's as simple. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.